Hey everyone, it is tea time. I'm Tea and I'm having a lemon ginger tea today. I've been getting a lot of questions on how to become a flight attendant and what to do. And first, let me just start off by saying why I love being a flight attendant and then how I got the job. So I love being a flight attendant because it allows me the freedom and flexibility to do things in life that I want. I also love people. I'm a natural pleaser, so I like making other people smile. So the fact that I get to impact people every single day, hundreds of people every day, just brings joy to my life. As far as like the flexibility, you guys know I love to travel, so it allows me to do that. I get to travel for work and I have time off to travel for pleasure as well. So those are just two of the reasons that I love being a flight attendant. Let's see how I became one. So actually my mom is a flight attendant. Sometimes you'll see me post little pictures because she's kind of semi-popular. She's semi-famous. I'm just kidding, but she is in a lot of like ads for us. And she kind of had always kind of put the bug in my ear. And when I actually had considered it, I had decided it was on either going to be the company that I'm with or I was not going to be a flight attendant. And that's because I just know myself and my personality, and I know where I would fit in and feel good and great about my job. And so I just kind of let her know, like, hey, I am interested in this, and can you let me know when they're hiring next? She told me, well, it's good for you to go ahead and get your resume in, all that kind of stuff, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. But I had my stuff ready to go, so as soon as it was open, she gave me a call. She was like, hey, it's opening, you know, this date. And I just never looked back. I'm only gonna hit on a few key points today. And I want you guys to be able to get the whole picture, so make sure you go visit lifeofaSassyStew.com. Even if you just go to the last page and get some of the tips and tricks and of interviews there and ideas and different things like that, that will definitely help you with your hiring process. Let's hit on some of like the pros and the cons of the job. I'm just gonna hit on a couple. Like I said, you can go to lifeofaSassyStew.com and get everything there as well. One of the things that I think is a big pro is obviously the traveling. So if you like to travel, if you like to visit new places and do new things and you're open to new experiences, this might be a great job for you. It shouldn't be the reason why you want to be a flight attendant, but it's definitely an added perk. And with most airlines, you might get buddy passes or your companion pass, and your family might even, your immediate family, including your parents, might even get to fly for free as well. What people don't know is that most airlines have interline agreements, and we are allowed to fly on other airlines for free as well. And that's really cool because now, like my husband and I, we can just go to places that my airline doesn't fly to. So for example, if we wanted to go to Tokyo, konnichiwa, all we would have to do is actually pay the taxes on that one because it's international. But if we wanted to go somewhere else domestic that, you know, our airline doesn't go to, we could fly for free. Sometimes your spouse has to pay the taxes. But again, like that Tokyo example that I just used, I looked it up and it's like $140 or something like that. It is less than $200 to go to Tokyo, like if I wanted to go right now. I just think that's one really awesome perk. Another really awesome pro to this job is the networking opportunities. We come across so many people in a single day, especially if you do, you know, 3-4 legs. You come across hundreds of people every single day. And those people know people, and they are coming from all walks of life and every background. And so I've known some flight attendants who, you know, have their masters in, you know, whatever, and then meet somebody on the plane, and that person's like, hey, like I really want you to work, part-time or whatever, or even full-time. This job allows you the flexibility to work the job part-time. And one of my friends, for example, he got hired by a major pharmaceutical company, and it was all because he met somebody on the plane. And I just think that's great networking opportunity. Sometimes passengers will just give us tickets to an event or a concert or whatever, a game, professional game or whatever. I mean, you don't want to like go out with every single person you meet on the plane, but it does provide you extra networking opportunities. Not only that, but your crew members. Most crew members nowadays have some kind of college education. And we all have different backgrounds. Some of us are part-time nurses, or, I know a psychological therapist. We all have different backgrounds. And so it's really cool to just network and talk with each other. One of the cons that people don't think about is health. We are flying in a giant metal tube of germs. There's so many people there carrying so many different diseases and sicknesses, and we are exposed to all of them. That's kind of scary and could definitely be a con, especially if you're someone with a weak immune system. It's kind of funny, but not funny, but I saw like a news blurb or whatever. It was listing out the dirtiest objects. Fortunately, I don't consider myself an object, but flight attendants were listed as one of the most dirty objects. So if that doesn't tell you something, yeah. Additionally, the pay. Sometimes the pay is not that great, and if you're just starting out, the pay might not be good for you. Depending on what airline you're with and how long you've been there, that's what determines the pay. So I know some regional airlines, pay something like $8 or $9 an hour, whereas some of the main lines, if you've been there and you're topped out, you've been there for 15 years, you're getting paid like almost $70 an hour. Huge difference, right? So that's something that if you are considering this job, you're gonna need to research before you just dive right in. So the pay is kind of like a pro and a con, because once you get there, and if you're with the right company, you're going to start making a lot of money. I used to be a pro cheerleader, and we didn't get paid hardly anything. So when I came to this job, even at the entry level, I was like, yes, I'm rich. So it just depends on who you are and your background and your needs. But that is something definitely to look into, and it could be a con for you. Okay, next are two things that could be considered like a pro and a con, depending on who you are and how you look at it. But one of those things is the schedule. When you come into being a flight attendant, when you are new, you're going to be on something called reserve. Reserve just means that you are on call. To be frank, it sucks. Sometimes you spend most of your day just waiting. And when you do get trips, it's usually the trips that nobody wanted, and you're going all over the place, and your schedule changes at the drop of a minute, which can happen to anyone, but it happens more so to reserves. It's just kind of wacky and a little bit more stressful. But the good news is you're not on reserve forever. Different airlines have it's set up different ways. Some have it where you're straight reserve until your seniority number comes up and you don't have to do it at all anymore. Some have it where you alternate. So it just depends on the airline. That's also something that you can look into. But what is a pro is that when you do get a little seniority under you, your world just opens up, especially if you're with an airline that lets you be flexible. The airline I'm with, we work 3 days on and 4 days off, and we have that means we work, a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then we have the next 4 days off. And then we have the flexibility to move those together or trade them down to smaller trips or do whatever. So there are literally opportunities to have like the whole month off with our company. So that's something else you want to just look into and see if you need that flexibility. It allows you to do so many other things, which I think is awesome. Another pro/con, depending on if you're extrovert or introvert, is loneliness. This can be a lonely job. you're at hotels, you're away from your family. Not the crew doesn't always want to go down and do something. They might just want to go to their rooms and go to sleep. Some people, this is, their escape from home type of thing, their little vacation. And some people want to go and do things. So it just depends. But this can be a lonely job, but it can also be a fun and friend-filled job as well. So there's just a few of the pros and cons. Again, you can go online and read the rest.